Welcome to the Quantum Awakening podcast, where we invite you to embark on a profound exploration of conscious evolution, human transformation, DNA upgrades, and the harmonious fusion of science and spirituality. Guiding you through this enlightening journey are your dynamic hosts, Sharon and Amanda Bowden. With their extensive knowledge and expertise, they will serve as your trusted leaders of knowledge. Sharon, with her deep spiritual insight and celestial race knowledge, will shed light on the mystical aspects of your existence. Meanwhile, Amanda will share her expertise around manifesting, mind-body-soul connections, and how science and psychology are intertwined with spirituality. Join us on a transformative journey to enhance your perspective and to bring you enlightenment.
Hey guys, welcome to Quantum Awakening and exploring conscious evolution with me, Amanda, and
Sharon.
Yay!
Yay!
So
Back again.
I'm really excited today because we're actually going to allow John to come through. Sharon's going to go down into a trance state and he's going to talk about, we're just going to let him talk about what he wants to talk about today.
So today is about trance and channeling. So I think he's going to talk about it.
Cool.
And you're going to keep an eye on the time.
Oh, yeah.
And what your experience is, we will cut out the time of him going down because it can take 2 to 5 minutes depending on how I am. And when he comes back out again, we'll cut that bit out. So you'll hear it would come back in with me talking after he's come out, and then we'll start a conversation again. So yeah, see you in a bit.
I'm so excited.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Amanda.
You okay?
Yes, I've been instructed to be louder than normal and not so long as normal.
No, you're on timer today, John.
Yes. So, trance and channeling is, what a subject. And 15 minutes isn't long enough, my dear.
You can go
So
over
we
a
might
little
have to go over.
As they knew you
But
would.
I will let you know.
Cool.
So, channeling is something that humanity's used for a long time with the understanding of bringing through a higher source connection. Channeling information and wisdom and knowledge. Many have learnt over centuries and ancient times on Earth that channeling comes from a higher source and beings. And if you look through your history, this is recorded in many ways, visually and written. So this is nothing new. So why are you sitting there thinking, how can you talk to celestial beings or universal guides, however you wish to name them in your Earth, and not believe what Amanda and Sharon are telling you? Because I can tell you now, you're the ones that are not understanding the world around you and beyond. Channeling comes in different levels for your understanding. So say a medium, or you might know them as a psychic, if they need to connect to the higher source to bring a loved one for you to understand and bring evidence and acknowledge they really are talking to you through that medium that day, that medium has to connect to a higher source energy and raise their energies. So they're working on a higher vibration. If you're a psychic, you're working on a slightly lower vibration because you're reading more of the body of the person in front of you. And all of these I've just spoken about uses your guides to help boost your energy or balance your energy while you're working in those forms. And then you've got energy like channeling books. Now this is where the confusion comes in.
Yeah.
When a human is on a life plan to write many books like Amanda and Sharon have been, it is channeling from their guides, using their knowledge, their experiences, the human knowledge and experiences of the person that's writing the book, but also the guide's knowledge and experience. And they will be bringing through the guides knowledge that's not yet here on Earth, very highly ascended knowledge from high energy. Now, when the trigger of the writing experience is to start for the human, the guide will be set in place before that is due to happen, way before, and they will be blending with the human's energy at a level so that when it is triggered, this union with the guide to bring in guidance, information, writing, whatever form it's to come in, art even, or music, that it would be a natural click into place and it will start to flow. Now this can start to flow through them being urged to write, to record, or whatever goes on. And the longer they do it, the stronger this connection will get. So in this sitter's, in this Sharon's story, she used to record on her technology, her phone, and eventually she'd start to make notes and research and gather information that was needed. And we're now 15 books down the line, because we've just started the 15th book with her, and it's now a connection from mind to keyboard. So she'll sit. There's no preparation. She chooses to sit. We guide her, and we're there. And at the moment, there is a guide called Castrierial, which is a Palladian guide who is helping her with her writing. And she has worked with her many times, and the connection is just instant. But because of the human mind, because it could fry it, is an expression which we like to use, that if we connect with you for too long telepathically, where you're ascended in your ability, and she's now in the 4th dimension energy with this, it could overcook the brain and make you ill, give you bad headaches, and withdraw you from the process. So we know we have to do it in what we call short bursts. But I say to you, if this human form sitting here now was in the 5th dimension, the connection would be for so much longer. Now we can connect to you in your 3D dimension through channeling, through trance, and we can talk like we are now. Sharon can have a conversation with us when we're not in trance, because in trance she steps aside to allow me to speak. She is there. Her mind is and has awareness I'm here. She's trusted me to take over her voice box and channel through her mind, which can be up to about 30 to 45 minutes in length if we allowed me to be here that long. But I won't be. So the building of trust with telepathic communication is what channeling is what trance is. Now, as you ascend through the years, you're about to communicate with us. You're about to be sitting in your armchair and say, "Hey, John, how are you doing?" You're about to see in your mind where I am, where I exist. Have a conversation with me, and me back with you, wherever I am in the universe. Don't you think that's amazing?
I do.
So at the moment, that is limited. That doesn't happen. I have to be quite near to Sharon's energy, as Amanda's guides do to her, to communicate. But time will grow, and it won't be in this lifetime, because when Sharon's passed, she'll come back to where her home source is. But she is coming back again, which she does fight a bit. But in the future, she would be on a more highly ascended level, because humanity would have understand this. And you won't need your technology. Can you imagine walking through your day, controlling your telepathic state, messaging your mother through mind, "I'm late for tea, don't worry," rather than using your phone and your technology? That is where many human beings are. Some of those are in physical form, celestial beings through the universe. When I say human beings, it's like the Palladians of human, the Lemurians of human form. Human forms as species that look very much like you, but aren't you. They're more highly ascended. They have different gene pools, obviously, different ways of living, and even their physical bodies aren't the same. They don't have, or not all species of hearts, lungs, kidneys, etc. And I come back to the channeling with you now, because like prayer is channeling. And I know on a previous podcast this has been mentioned. And channeling of to the higher self, the soul connection, again, is a different level of channeling. It's different to the guides. You connect with your guides on a daily basis. To connect through your soul to your higher self, you have to experience something called soul connection, which is a practice put in place. And what you feel with that and how you recognise that you have connected to that is different to how you connect to your guides. So you've got to work at it, my friends. You've got to work at this connection. Not many of you are born with that natural ability. And as I know has been said in previous podcasts, children that are coming in on the higher frequencies are being labelled. Yet they are the ones that are going to make this breakthrough. They are the ones that are going to make this change on your world. Those that are being labelled of autism and all that goes with that and everything else, Asperger's syndrome, and your children which are Down syndrome, they're on a higher level. You've got to see your world in a different perspective, my friends. We channel in many ways, and there's many different ways of channeling, and they are different. You must start to understand this. Do you have any questions, Amanda?
Oh my God, where do I start? You know I've got questions.
Yes, I know you have. That's why I was told to stop waffling.
Who told you to stop waffling?
They just told me to stop. I just know.
Oh my God, off the cuff. How can we best help and nurture our children who are coming in on the higher frequency?
They will be placed with parents or carers in your world that will have the ability to help them. That parent or carer will be under the influence of the 3D reality, schools saying your child is this, your child is that, because they don't understand. You as the adult will need to help this child with meditation, crystals, grounding, nature, allowing them to express themselves in the home the way they can't express themselves in the school.
Yeah, this is something
It's
I've actually
education
noticed.
that is the issue in your 3D reality. It is too indoctrinated. Others within the school will see them as the odd bods, bullying, whatever else goes on in your human society. The parent or carer, the adult of the child, must allow that child to express themselves in ways which won't be allowed in the restricted 3D education system. And these children are very bright children, very intellectual as well as very creative.
Yeah,
You recognise that, don't you?
very much so.
And if we can bring, perhaps you should have a podcast on this subject, my dear, on star children.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
Yes, so there you are. Your list has grown this day, has it not?
We've got 3 now, yeah.
Yes, see? See how it works. So, yes, did that answer your question? It's actually very simple.
Yeah.
But you have the knowledge to do this.
yeah.
If the child has been placed with a family or a parent or a carer that doesn't quite have that knowledge, it's going to be more of a struggle. But perhaps that's what they've been put in place for.
Well, I was thinking this week, like maybe with my manifesting and the coaching that I do, that I would lean more towards the holistic side of neurodevelopment, because a lot of people are struggling right now because of the systems. They're
Yes, you
overloaded.
are going to be a leader in this field.
Okay.
And you really need to target the children, but you need to target the adults to bring the education to them.
Yeah.
So how do you do this? You target the adults first, but you can also bring adults that have children to come with them. Now, I bring a story of an experience Sharon has experienced a few years ago. She did a fairy workshop, with another partner she worked with. And the children that came were children like you've been describing.
Yeah.
And they saw and felt things other children didn't. And one child had been expelled from school for this, an 11-year-old child.
Yeah.
So sad for us, but that child is a catalyst. That child is there to prove the world wrong. And there'll be many like that. And her mother embracing this child, bringing her to the fairy workshop, is just what that child needed. She met other children the same as her, different from society. But they've got to be in place for society to change.
They're the cycle breakers of their generation.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes, it does. It always does to us. Time is short, I fear.
Yeah, we've got 1 minute left.
Oh, well, okay. I think I will step back now.
Okay.
Allow Sharon to come back into the space.
Well, thank you for all your knowledge and what you've given us today.
I'm glad for those that have taken the time to listen. Thank you. Hello. Oh dear.
It's so funny.
Excuse me a minute while I have to put my specs on and I have to have a large drink of water because I get really dry throat.
Yeah, because when you come back out of a trance, it's like as if you've been daydreaming for a little bit. And
yeah, you can feel a little bit,
reality.
your energies have to readjust to the room. I come back quite quickly now, but old days I used to, and you can feel sometimes the energy is so lovely that you actually don't want to come back. It's so different to our reality where you go.
Well, I've realised that when we do this, it's like you feel like you're home.
Yes.
You're feeling the home energy, which is why I meditate nighttime before I go to bed, because my guides have been saying that I've been homesick. So doing that is having a little piece of home, which brings peace of mind.
Well, it's funny you should say that because we're going to find it harder and harder to deal with this world. The more we progress, the tougher it's going to get for us.
Oh, yay.
And
I noticed.
yeah, so because obviously there's so much going on in it at the moment, which isn't good. But we have to keep ourselves in our bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally like what we can focus on.
Yeah.
Meditate. That kind of
That's
thing.
another thing with channeling guys and trance. I don't know what John said. I'll listen to it later on the feedback. But yeah, that's the other thing. When you're doing channeling and stuff, you know, your energies change, your outlook changes. You become into the 4-5D perspective where you don't want harm, you don't want war, you don't want people hurting each other. So the more you work at this, the more you ascend, the harder it is to stay with this earth plane, because it's not a good place to be. But but then pulling them back into that, there's a lot of love on this planet.
I was going to say, I got a different perspective
yeah.
on that now, because like for me, I'm learning that going home for me signalises that there's something I want to learn around like Lemurian times and different things, which is why I was listening to that book to gain knowledge and understanding who you truly are.
Yeah,
it gives you more growth as well. So it's like a bittersweet, really.
yeah. There is So I'm just writing this other book, and I won't tell you too much about it. But one of the characters decides to take on human form twice in the book. One as an Amazon Indian and one as a New York tourist. And he brings up 9/11 when the terrorists hit New York. But the perspective coming from the story, which is obviously from my guide's perspective, Cashierial, is that even though there was that horrific event, the love that came from that event for other people, from the world, completely outweighed that event.
And I can totally understand that, because from what I've been taught in the last year is that like we've got the energies of polarity. So we've got the one end with the positive and the negative. So whenever something negative does happen, there has to be a positive.
Yeah, but we focus on the negative with the 3D reality.
Yeah, because we're not. It's not as if we're conditioned. It's just how human minds work. And that's where we're coming through the conscious evolution of choosing a different perspective, a different way of looking at things.
It's cool, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so yeah, with the trance, I do teach trance now. So trance is an amazing way to connect with your guides. If you do mediumship development or anything like that, trance is a really good way to build your connection and your trust. And I know when I was doing the mediumship and the platform, when I started to do I started to do trance, my trust really grew and my mediumship grew. But it's not for everybody, trance. You all channel. Every day humans channel. They don't realise they're doing it. You channel with your thoughts, you channel with your prayers, you channel with, oh, I wish I could have this, I wish I could have that. You're sending out these messages out into the channels of the universe. And good old karma comes into this. Watch what you channel out there, so it can go hitting back at you.
Yeah, it's funny, like when you talk about trance and I know. I just got lost in a moment then, guys. So, like, when we do trance, like when you're saying, like, you start to trust in your guides and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you're also using your unconscious part of your mind as well, which is where not only your guides come through, but your higher self as well. So you're learning to trust your own inner voice, your own inner being that gives you the positive guidance and not the human side of you that can sometimes be like the negative self-talk and that kind of thing. So you're going from that end of the scale as well when you're learning trance and trusting yourself. And like for me, I've experienced this in the last couple of weeks and it feels weird, first of all, going from that negative part of you giving you things in your head, and then having that part of you who is a positive voice, and you can go to and ask yourself, like we do this in NLP anyway, and you can say, I don't know, what should I do today, blah blah blah, and then the first thing that pops in your mind, and then when you're going to trance and different things, that helps you to trust yourself as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which is cool.
I should mention, I don't know what John talked about. Did he talk about the different levels of trance?
I can't remember, blimey. He talked about...
the fact it's been put in my head makes me think he didn't. Yeah.
No,
So there's different levels of trance. There's light trance, like asking you guys to come in and do some writing with you. You can, like if you're doing a church service, you can ask your guys to inspire your mind. Your eyes would be open, you'd be standing there in a light trance state. Bit like if you ever drive and you've gone through the lights and ended up somewhere and you can't remember how you got there. Feels a bit like that.
Autopilot.
But you're actually physically functioning, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got your next layer of trance, which is where you learn to go down into the energy and you invite a guide to speak through you. And they will come forward with their words, their wisdom and their guidance. Then you've got the probably more starting to go into what we call the more physical side of trance, where you could bring a loved one forward, or a guide can bring a loved one forward. And then you got your physical trance, where it's a different sort of atmosphere you sit in. So in what I call normal trance, you're sitting in the silence, but in physical trance you've got music going to build the energies, and then you can get things moving, voices booming through the room, see orbs. The sitter would be a physical medium, and they will get, what's it called, ectoplasma and stuff, and all sorts of things can go on. So there's different levels of trance. I concentrate on the light trance and the next level, where I bring John forward to talk.
But yeah, it was quite funny because I wasn't expecting him to actually have a conversation with me. He's doing that, and I totally forgot he did.
Well, you know,
that.
he likes to catch you out.
I forgot. I was like, have you got a question? I was like, I always have.
He's a bit naughty, isn't he? He obviously didn't get the script, did
Caught
he?
me off guard, and I was like, I always
Well,
have.
we talked before what's going to happen, and I might have not said, John, are you listening? He probably wasn't.
He's texting.
So the other thing is, I've also got for you guys if you want it. I've done a PDF of the different levels of channeling. There's 10, and so it's quite comprehensive. So if you want that, again, the details at the end, you can email me and I'll send the PDF to you. It just really, especially if you're teaching, if you've got groups, you're teaching even meditation, mediumship, anything spiritual. If your students can have a basic understanding of the levels of what we're putting out at the moment, then that's really going to ground them with their moving forward on their journey.
Definitely. Yeah, you know a lot more than me on trance. Although, saying that out loud, like trance for me is like doing hypnosis as well with people.
It can be like a meditative state. Yeah, you mustn't get confused with meditation and trance, because with meditation, you can go off into when I go into meditation, I've been taken on journeys, so like dream state journeys, and they give me information from my books and show me planets I'm going to write about.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. I don't get that in trance. In trance, I step aside and they come forward, and I might sense what they look like when I come back, and I might get a feeling, and it all depends on how my connection is with them and how strong it is.
So like in my language, what it's doing is your consciousness is stepping aside, and theirs is coming in. So they're not literally...
They don't take over your body or anything.
They don't take over.
No,
like
it literally is telepathic communication.
Yeah.
We are a telepathic race. We just need to use it.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Cool. Well, another one.
That's our 6th one done, and that's the first season recorded.
Yeah, so we've got ideas the next one. They will just carry on, won't they? So
well, yeah, John came in and gave us an awesome idea as well.
Oh, did he? Did you write it down?
He did. I haven't, but I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
Around Star Children.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's be a really good one, won't it?
So now we've got 3.
Right, we're off to get some lunch now because we're starving. But I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.